Yo, what is up, YouTube? Redbird here. Today, we are going to talk about the Staff Wand AoE build. I just recently put this together, and it turns out the build has like S+ style tier points. Okay, and on top of that, it's actually pretty good as well. So I wanted to share it with you guys today. I'm kind of just doing this whole series of Staff Wand builds. I still owe you guys PvE DPS and of course the PvP build. I've been working on both a lot, but this is the one that it just kind of came together today. I started working on it, and then like 30 minutes in, I just feel like this is it. This is the build. So I want to show it to you guys right now. Okay, so the whole concept of the build really is very similar to a lot of like the PvE style stuff that you're doing, which is putting burns on targets and then using your lightning spells to capitalize on the increased damage. What's unique about this build is that you're spreading all this to everybody in the area. I mean, it's just like it's like I shouldn't say let's just say a plague. Okay, it's like some sort of burning, electrocuting plague that spreads like wildfire across the map. And it really is a ton of fun. Honestly, the build really only needs like 4 or 5 abilities, but because you have 12 slots, I just threw a bunch of other stuff on here that are also fun. So let's get started here. Actually, you're gonna want to use this passive for the most part. You're not gonna be queuing hardly at all anyways, because you're murdering things at a rapid pace. But you know, this will be the Q that you're going to be using for the build. You want Serial Fire Bombs, Chain Thunder, Inferno Wave, Judgment Lightning, Rave Disaster, Burning Smokescreen, Swift Healing just to top yourself off. And same for, I mean, you guys are familiar with this. If you've watched any of my builds, the Fountain of Life, Thunder Blessing combo, we still use it to recharge ourselves in between pulls, and it turns out you can basically in between pulls even make a pull and just use this combination and kill a big pack of mobs. It's sick. This is just because we don't know what the fudge else to put on the bar. There really isn't anything that matches the flavor, so we use Ice Spear. You can switch this out for literally anything. It doesn't matter. High Focus, you just pop this once you're through your main rotation just to get them back as fast as you can and do another quick pull. And then Blessed Barrier, again, not important. You can switch this out with literally anything on the Staff Wand combination. Have fun, you know, tweak things, adjust things. These two abilities really, they're not relevant at all to the build. So they're fun. These are the ones I landed on. You might land on something different. Okay, so as far as the passives go, we got Mana Ball Eruption. It just shoots extra projectiles when you're doing your light attack. Really not, again, that important. Max mana, max health. This is really good. Burning damage is increased, and then if using a skill on a victim of a burning thing, your heavy chance increases. So this is good for the build. Increased skill damage by 105. We don't really care about the mana cost efficiency, as we've said before, because this combination is so good. It doesn't matter. Full of corruption. This is really like the thing that you know, I never used this in any of the other builds, and then when I was putting this together today, I'm like, yo, this is sick for AoE farming. It's basically only applicable in AoE farming for the most part, just because of how many victims, or like enemy, I don't want to call them victims, I read it out off the tooltip, enemies that you're killing at once. It just like it increases your max damage by 22. It stacks up to 3 times. Dude, this is level 1 blue. Like, I'm sure that as we level this up, like, look at the like increasing your max damage by 30, and then purple, I would assume, is gonna get us like close to 40 maybe, which is just like, it's disgusting. Max damage increased by 40 times 3, that's 120. I mean, that's just completely gross, and it's gonna even get nastier the more it levels up. Asceticism, this is just mana regen. And then it increases your heavy chance if you stand still. I mean, the only time this really ever is applicable is when you use this combination of Fountain of Life and Thunder Blessing. You're standing still long enough to grab the buff, and then once you once you get out of that, it will kind of, you'll finish with the buff, by the way. So you'll kill, again, that pull that you make when you're using, like, it would be considered like a rest pull, which is crazy to think about. You don't really have to stop ever with this build. But as you stay still and doing this, at the end of it, you'll get this buff, and then you'll have this buff after 2 seconds after you move, so you can start a pull with it or whatever. Increased healing is a devotion and emptiness. Skill damage over time at night, or it decreases cooldowns during the day. The healing is like not that relevant because we don't really heal a lot. Like you again, you have this combination. And then you have this like, oh, poop button that you can push that just heals you immediately back to full health. So the healing ones aren't that relevant, but again, we're like, it's hard to like, I mean, like we're just AoE farming. I mean, this build is basically used for resistance contracts completing. And if we get high enough level and push all these skills up to 5, I think we will have a pretty dope like solo farm for the open world dungeons. Or as we get higher level and like your gear gets better and your weapons get better, and you get more attributes, like I think this will be viable to pull like massive groups of mobs in these open world elite dungeons, and you'll be able to take care of them all by yourself. The build is that crazy as far as damage goes. So I'm excited to like push all these skills up to max level, you know, get all my gear to like, you know, trade it and level 9 purples and see what this thing can do, because it's exciting. It's a ton of fun. Like the build is a lot of fun. And I want to show you guys a little bit right now. I'm gonna try to create some video of this bad boy. But you know, if it doesn't go well, I have B-roll. I'll just put that in real quick. You guys thought I was gonna miss some stuff, didn't you? It's like it's almost like you guys are projecting like maybe I had done that before in a video prior or something, you know what I mean? No, I caught myself. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so you guys always ask about this attribute split. Honestly, for this build, the solo build, you're pumping dex. Honestly, you want dex to 50, wisdom to dex to 60, wisdom to 50, and that's all that matters. Nothing else matters with this build. You're trying to get all the crit you can get, and then you want cooldown speed just to speed things up a little bit. The max mana and the debuff duration don't hurt either. You don't really do a lot of debuffing other than I don't know if the weakness of the burns are considered debuff, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the targets aren't around long enough to get the benefit of that probably anyways. So dexterity 60, wisdom to 50. Again, gear, I don't recommend you. What? I got 8 sap points left. Look at this, boys. Hey, we're about to pump some more. What happened here, anyways? Let's reset this. Okay, so why I'm messing around, which just has nothing to do with the video. Gear for a solo farm build or an AoE farm build, like it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, if you're a PvP player, use your PvP gear because that's what you should be focusing and leveling up anyways. If you're a PvE player, I would probably recommend just getting the set that I've recommended for the PvE healer build that I put together that you guys know about, because honestly, like you're not going to build your character around doing your like resistance contracts. It's like the easiest thing to do in the game. So gear wise, I would just basically like you can use something like this. This is if you're a PvE player and you want to put together a PvE build, I would just use this set that I recommended with the Ascended Guardian. I mean, this set is crazy strong, cooldown speed and increased heal. It has really good like every piece has an attribute for the most part except for the boots. You get more cooldown speed, mana cost efficiency. This is a really, really good PvE set. The Supreme Devotion, you can farm this in in one of the group dungeons. Cooldown speed, crit hit chance, and mana regen. This has double cooldown speed reduction and wisdom. Excavators, you can use excavators or the wand from Cave of Destruction. Both of them are awesome and both of them are good. And no matter what game mode you want to play with them at. And the Staff of Umbermancer, extremely good wand, or extremely good staff. And if you don't want to use that, then just use the staff from Tyrant Isle. Again, easily farmed in an open world dungeon. Bracers of Primal King, easily farmed in open world dungeon. You know, this jewelry and these belts, again, not that relevant to the build. It doesn't, like, you want skill damage boosts, and most of these, you know, most of your belts, rings, and necklace are going to have skill damage resistance or skill damage boost. You're probably not going to be able to pick which one it has. Just get as many ones with skill damage boost as you can possibly get down there. And if you can't find this set, which I can understand maybe how hard it is to farm some of these sets, just get this. It makes sure that the purple gear has Dex or Wisdom on it. That's all. And that can be said for like every piece of gear in this build. If it's PvE and you're a PvE person, if it has Dex or Wisdom on there, the piece is probably good. Okay. So I just made a video yesterday. It was like, I literally recorded the video 20 times. I'm not even sure if the video is useful to this day. I've had a like maybe 12 hours worth of YouTube comments, and people just hit the upvote and they don't say anything. So they might be being nice to me. I don't know at this point. Anyways, there's the gear. I covered the attributes as well. Again, like, you shoot for the stars, 60 Dex, 50 Wisdom, just put them all spread between Dex and Wisdom there. Try to get as many threshold bonuses as you can. The Guardian, you can use Lady Knight, Kamarshia. That's fine. Also, let's see. I have this Guardian for the solo farm build. Shade Revenant Stheno. Also super good. You can just use that. It's more damage. It's a lot of fun as well. Just poops out projectiles all over the screen. It's gonna make you happy. If it makes you happy, do it. This build is all about being happy, and also about just murdering resistance contracts. And hopefully one day, if we juice ourselves full of gear, we're going to do this in open world dungeons, and we don't need groups. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be solo farming all the elites we can possibly pull. So the build is real easy. You just simply want to stack fire on things, and then you cast your lightning spells, and you win the game. It's that easy. As you can see, I just murdered that mob pack, and dude, I mean, there's no efficiency to this because you literally just cast the spells and they die. Make sure you put the fire on the target first, then you cast the lightning spells, and almost always they're going to be dead. And if they're not going to be dead, they're going to be close to being dead. Now, why I also chose Ray of Destruction and Burning Smokescreen is it's even more fire, even more burning, and a cool little trick. And I use this is, if you guys remember me messing around with Dagger Wand on the Korean client. Like, this has a really cool interaction where if you pull this ray through other targets, it does damage to all the targets that it hits. So this skill, oh my gosh, I about forgot to do skill specializations. Okay, we're gonna do that right after this. But there's a skill specialization that splits the ray into 3, and each ray will trigger through each target. So you get 3 times the damage on targets. So it looks something like this. You ray something, and then you pour it through them, and then the rays are hitting 3 targets at once. As you can see, it almost killed them, and you know what? To finish it off, you just hit your lightning spells, and bada bing, bada boom, everything's dead. I can't believe, dude, I would have got flamed so hard in the comments if I would have forgot the skill specializations again. And then I'm just like, oh, look at the link in the description. And you guys are like, yeah, but this is a YouTube video, you moron. Show me the specializations. Here we go. Specializations. And if you say, what are the specializations, I'll know you didn't watch the whole video, and that'll make you a naughty boy or a naughty girl. I'll have to slap on the wrist there. Gotta watch these videos all the way through. Like and subscribe, boys. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. Okay, here are the specs here. Firebomb, we took use the skill while moving, applies to a 3-meter radius, so it just makes it like an AoE spell, and then the cast time is removed. Inferno Wave, we are doing cooldown reduction, and can use up to 2 times with a 50% chance. Burning Smokescreen, this turns your ice teleport or blink into a fire skill that leaves these flaming volcanoes on the ground. They do AoE over time, and they apply burns over time. Really, really cool thing that you don't really get to use this spell very much. So when you're AoE farming, it is pretty dope to be able to access this. This deals additional damage equal to 50% of the base damage. So just more damage here. Chain Thunder, you're taking all of them. This turns your what is it known before? Chain Lightning into just an AoE spell that spreads. It's crazy. Probably the best skill in the build. Thunder Blessing, you guys know the drill here. Just turns you into a Tesla coil when you're regenning. And anybody that hadn't watched the other videos, I'll show you that interaction before we in the video. Judgment Lightning, this basically makes it to where things don't need to be wet to spread it. It's similar to the Chain Thunder. And then it makes sure that the damage doesn't weaken when it is spread. So this like keeps the damage at full pace. And why that's so good is you get damage buffs from hitting things with burning targets, and that full damage is transferred to all other targets that get hit from your Thunder Lightning or your Thunder and Lightning spells. So really good. You only need to apply burning to one target, and then you get the benefit of that buff to everything else, which is really sick. Here, Swift Healing, you just use this. Ray of Destruction. You again, this spell's not very it's just fun. It's just cool. And we don't really have a lot of places to spend our specialization. So here we go. This is what we're spending on here. Reduces the cooldown. It splits into 3, like I said. That allows you to pull it through other targets. And this boosts the damage and reduces the cooldown. So overall good here. And then mana, the Fountain of Life. We're taking the mana and we're taking the duration of the thing. If you haven't, this is what I wanted to show you guys too. Is so this is what like the rest cycle looks like. And sorry, this video kind of went all over the place when I forgot I did the skill specialization. So forgive me. But here we go. You apply Ray, do your blink, and then you jump back in here, and then you put your Tesla coil on. And not only they're standing in the volcanoes, but now they're getting electrocuted by you, and you're regaining all of your health and your mana, and you get ready to go again, boys. And there you go. Murder, pure and utter genocide all over these werewolf-looking guys. You love it. I love it. It's fun. You guys are you're gonna have a blast. Let me know in the comments below how much fun you have when you try the build. AoE farming with Staff 1 turns out good. Just like most of these other Staff 1 builds that we're putting together out here. Love you guys very much. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next video.